Okay. Time now. It's 11:17 a.m. on January 13. Oh, I got it. It's 13. Okay. So yeah. Um. Oh God, I'm so tired right now. I slept from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. So let's say 5 hours or a bit less. And yeah, here I am. Jesus Christ. First day of school, and I went to bed at 6 a.m. in the morning. Thank God I don't have to wake up early. But I have to wake up early tomorrow, so that sucks. But, oh yeah, today's the day. Today's the day. Day one of semester number three. Um, yeah, it's gonna be two different classes. One is writing, Writ 340. I forgot to mention this, but the two USC students I met last night, Ian and Olivia, I believe their names are. They also took the same professor at the. Both of them also took the same professor as I did, and they told me he's super chill, and we only write about art, like our own art and how we process our own art. So hopefully it's chill. And then tonight from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. it is CTPR 290, which I am very excited about. I'm very excited about. So we'll see what happens. We shall see what in the world happens. And yeah, right after religion class it's gonna be 3:30, and I will immediately get back home and I'll probably have lunch by then. I've thought about whether I should have lunch before class, like before religion, not religion, before Writ 340 or after Writ 340. And I realized I should do after because I won't be having dinner until after CTPR 290, and by then it's gonna be 10 p.m., which means lunch cannot be too early. So it's okay that I'm waking up late because I'll have breakfast only and maybe a snack, and then I'll leave. Also, I will go to school today. Um, all right, the transportation card is not ready yet. I wish it is, but it's not ready yet. Um, if it is ready, I would have gone to the transportation office first thing so that I could grab my card, but it's not. But instead, I would like to um go to GSF and do some location scouting first. I will go to the classroom where we're supposed to film, and I'll take a bunch of photos, first and foremost, before RIT 340. Also, RIT 340, that class is at Salvatore, uh, Grace Ford Salvatore building or something, which is a building I've never been to, which is surprising because I thought these kinds of classes are gonna take place at like DMC or whatever, the most basic places. But no. So I'm excited to enter a new building for school. Um, yeah. That's pretty much it. And I think my nose is healing. It's still the mark is gonna be there for at least 2 weeks, but at least it's not like bulging acne. Uh, Oh god, I'm so tired. I had a dream. I kind of forgot what that dream what happened in that dream, but I did have a dream. It was a depressing dream. You know what? I'll go back to bed for a little more. I will leave school. Okay, also, it's the first day of school. I need to arrive early as fuck. So, my class starts at 2 p.m. I'm gonna leave at, I'm gonna leave at 1:20. I think that's when the bus is coming. Or should I leave it? Or should I leave at 12:50? 1:20. Yeah. Okay, fuck. Fuck me. Okay. I'm super late, so we'll just do this real quick. This is a ritual. 3, 2, 1. Let's go, detective! Let's go, detective! Let's go, detective! Let's go, detective! Yeah, semester 3 out of 5, first day. Fuck me. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Okay, gotta go. I'm late. Oh, Kaleidokali. Time now is 4:16 p.m. I'm gonna try to keep this short and sweet and simple, but I just came back home from my first class of semester 3 of spring 2025, and it is Writ 340, Writing 340, Advanced Writing. So this morning I woke up and I was like, I'm gonna go back to bed because I have a lot of time. And I set another alarm, and then I woke up again. And then I'm like, I'm still tired as fuck. I can't do this. So I went back to bed again. That is a grave mistake. Do not do that. I always underestimate how much time it'll get for me to wake up, brush my teeth, have breakfast, get changed, and go out. It seems simple. And, back in the day, back in secondary school, I could do all that in 20 minutes. But for some reason, nowadays it's more and more complicated. I don't know why. So I did that. I woke up and I was chill. I was like, yeah, I have a lot of time. So I left my bed at around 12 actually. And I thought, yeah, well, I actually still have a lot of time. Like, I want to leave my apartment at 1:20, so I have 1 hour and 20 minutes. Like, come on, bro. So I had the Trader Joe's moon cookies. I poured myself a half a cup of milk. And I went to my laptop and I thought, hey, I should finish editing my best films of 2024 video for my Cantonese channel, which I've been editing yesterday. And I edited it, and suddenly I felt uncomfortable in the stomach. I had a stomachache. Last night I had 2 shots of tequila and a bunch of Mexican food with a lot of beans, and this morning I had milk. That is a god-awful combination of food to have, especially right before school. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll go to the bathroom and then I'm sure I'll make it in time. But of course I didn't. So I was like, fine, I'll walk to school, but it's already like 1:42 p.m. I might as well wait for the bus. So I waited for the bus, and then I arrived on campus, and then I found GSF, which, by the way, I always do this before every semester, and that is I go to the classroom or I go to the building first before the semester starts so that I know how to get to the classroom. This semester I just didn't do that at all. So I'm just completely winging it. I've never been to GSF. I have no idea where the fuck that is. So I just looked at Google Map. I walked very seriously with big strides. I was listening to Nana Ray, hardcore electronic music. I'm really fucking pumped. I low-key wish someone I know would have ran into me and was like, oh my god, Enoch looks so mysterious and angry. But yeah, I didn't ran, I speed walked to GSF, or GFS, Grace Ford Salvatore Building. And I went to GSF 114 and I entered it, and I was 5 minutes late. It was 2:05 p.m. But it's okay, it could have been worse. So I entered and the whole classroom was already packed with people. It's a very tiny classroom, and surprisingly, we have these tables where we just sit around. It's kind of like the classrooms at DMC, where we have a bunch of tables and we sit around it. So we are already forming circles. So the only empty seat in the classroom is in the back, and I'm in the same table with two other Asian girls. So there are a lot of Asian girls in the class, and also mostly girls. There are 3 guys and like maybe 15 or 16 girls in that class. And the professor is a guy. He's a white guy, and he is like Peter Dinklage. He has dwarvism, but he's super nice. And low key, when he started speaking, I was like, wow, this is already better than many classes I've taken last semester. This is already interesting because he encourages interaction. So he handed me the syllabus, which is printed out, poorly printed out. It's like he took a photo of the syllabus and then he put the JPEG on the piece of paper. I don't know why. And then we went through the syllabus, and this class is really simple. Just 4 papers and you're done. And these 4 papers aren't like big, huge research papers. They're just like reflections about the self, about art, because it's a whole class full of art people. And there are a bunch of days where we don't even have to come to school. So I'm just thinking, damn, I should have applied for AAA and taken another class, because this class is super lightweight, actually. And yeah, so all of the people in the classroom are art people, but I haven't talked to a single one of them, but they're all like animation, music, actors, designers, filmmakers, all that stuff. So it's really interesting to be in a room full of art people, and everyone's kind of awkward. This girl who I'm sitting with, she's like a party girl, because she's wearing like barely any clothes. She drinks from a large Stanley cup, and she's like faced against the professor the whole time. And then she asked me for a pen, because at some point we need to use a pen to circle some stuff off of a piece of paper, off of a passage from the book The Paris Wife. And then another girl is more like down to earth, simple, and she begins doodling with a pencil on the syllabus. So yeah, I don't know. I wish there are other people here who are in SCA so that I could make friends. I feel like, ironically, this writing class might be a good place for me to meet other art people. Ironically, this might be a helpful class. Like, it's always at the unexpected places where you make friends. So, who knows? And then, yeah, we went over the syllabus, and then we did the Paris Wife thing, where everyone's given, like, a passage, and we read the passage. We read a page off of that book, and sort of analyze what are the interesting words. And, so the professor's like, oh, instead of writing an essay, write with your emotion, write with your heart, which is great, because we're all art people. We're not here to write thesis statements. We're here to express ourselves. So I'm like, that's fucking great, And then the last portion of the class is the professor doing self-introduction. She has been like a professor or like a TA all his life. But at some point somebody asked him to be a performer for a freak show. Maybe it's because he has dwarvism, so like people were scouting him on the streets. Like some guy was in a car, he pulled over and he's like, "Hey, do you want to be in a movie?" And surprisingly, the professor was like, "Yeah, sure." He's like a yes man. And another instance, he was on an airplane. Somebody sitting next to him was a photographer, and he's like, "Wow, you're very interesting fashion sense. Can I take photos of you?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And so he did like some modeling. He worked on some freak shows. They're like circus shows, swallowing swords, nailing your nose with a nail. He didn't do that. Other women in the show did. And it's almost like softcore porn, but in a very like vampiric, gothic, 1900s kind of way. And it's actually very freaking cool. So I'm like, wow, that's so interesting. So yeah, I spoke up twice during class, and then I left. I said thank you. I left. So yeah, I hope it's gonna be a good class. I hope it's not boring. And I hope I meet some people there. But I'm super unprepared. Like, by the time I finished going to the bathroom, it was already really late, and I had no time to trim my nails, which I really want to. I had no time to apply chapstick and lotion and hand cream and make myself look good. Me trying to put on my clothes took a while because I was thinking of wearing green, like the green shirt, and I totally forgot that it's short sleeved and not long sleeved, and that's a problem. I need to wear long sleeve because it's cold. So I was like, fuck it. So I wore the same, like, dark blue, but I wore my khaki pants with belt, which also took a while for me to find those pants. Like, oh, it's such a fucking mess. But yeah, I'm back now, and I'm super duper excited for 290. Yeah, so I don't have a lot of time. So it's 4:26 right now. I want to leave. Oh, I forgot to mention. After class, I went upstairs and went to the second floor of GSF or GFS, and then I took a bunch of photos and videos of the room that we are using to film this Saturday for the APC web episode. And I DM'd Christian a bunch of texts about like the room and everything. So hopefully I figure something out. Hopefully I PD the living shit out of this room. So, yeah. I need paper tape, do I? Well, to be fair, they should have paper tape. But I need paper tape, right? God damn. I'm actually PDing now, am I? So yeah, I ran into Ava. I was walking downstairs of GSF, and then suddenly Ava walks past me, and she didn't see me. It's the 7th time I've ran into her, I swear to God. So that was fun. Ava's younger than me too, I believe, but she's now a year more senior than me. I believe the two guys who, the guy and the girl I talked to yesterday, they might be younger than me too, but for some reason they're like full-blown adults. It seems like they're married, like, and I'm not. I'm like a child. But yeah, okay. I don't have a lot of time actually. I'm gonna immediately make lunch, immediately eat it up, and within 15 minutes I need to bounce. I need to go out, take the bus, and head to SCA. And I need to arrive there early because it's such an important class, and I want to arrive there early, looking sharp, looking nice. So I'll report after 290.
Yeah, what for dinner?
Who said color?
Vic.
Vic. So, Vic Astute. So this person is looking this way, right?
For fuck's sakes, man. Ugh. God damn. God fucking damn. So, time now is 9:05. I literally just came back home, just killed a cockroach, and I'm hungry, but right before eating food, let me just fresh off my mind talk about my thoughts. So I just finished the first class of CTPR 290, which is supposedly the biggest. That's not our building. Okay. Supposedly the biggest class and the most important class for me. So obviously it's a big deal. I was gonna take a bus, but turns out there isn't even a bus. It's reduced services, so you can't even take the bus because it's like one bus per hour. So I was like, fine. So I walked to school again. I walked back from school today and I walked to school again. And I arrived quite punctually. I arrived at around 5:55 and the class starts at 6, so that's great. And I was outside room 209 at first because that's where we were supposed to meet. And according to the USC, according to my website, according to my portal, this class takes place in room 209. But in my head, I was like, that's strange because I don't know why, but I also remember that the class takes place in 310. And in my head, I thought, ooh, that's convenient because I want to join in a 310. So I went to 209 and immediately I saw Cheyenne. So Cheyenne is this tall, white, blonde girl who has been pretty interesting. She's been an intriguing personnel. She's in Cam's Fest. That's where I first met her. She made this really interesting, disturbing, fucked up, moody, archival footage remix film that nobody understood. But I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. A little bit later, I saw her in Matt's short film, starring alongside Colin. And then in the 310 screening that happened in mid-December, I saw her like almost naked on the big screen playing a cam girl in a short film, in the film called Labor of Love. And I actually mentioned it to her as well. But she's really professional. I think we're all very professional about it. Like, you can like show a lot of your skin. You can be like, there's no nudity allowed, but like you can be almost naked, but we'll be professional about it, you know. It's not embarrassing, which is like, of course we're not. We're college, but like, wow, you know, we're grown-ups. So Cheyenne showed up. I recognized her. Of course, she doesn't recognize me. I always recognize people first before they recognize me. And then I went into the classroom, and right after that, I saw Ryan, the Asian American guy whom I met a year ago. I sat next to him. I was like, hey, and he remembers me. He's like, hey, what's up? How's it going? And then we had some talk about classes and the break and etc. And he told me he's nervous about this class, and I'm like, yeah. So, fun fact. As it turns out, this class is more complicated than I thought it would be. We have separate cinematography classes where for about maybe 6 hours in total, we're going to just learn cinematography. And then for 6 hours, we're going to learn editing on Avid. For about another 6 hours, we're going to learn about producing, like, etc., etc. And then in the meantime, we have 3 individual projects, not 2, 3. So now I need to think of 3 story ideas and not 2, which is absolutely insane. Plus 1 joined filmmaking exercise at the end of the class, but also the class is separated into 3. So there's Group A, Group B, and Group C. And I and Ryan are in the same group. We're in Group A. Cheyenne is in Group B. Rachel, she's not here today. She's in Group C. So, yeah, we waited and waited and waited, and it's 6:06 p.m., and no one has shown up, and all of us are pretty confused. And then Cheyenne, I can see her in front of me. She sort of turned around, and she looks around, and she's like, wait, I think the class is in room 310. And I'm like, oh? So Cheyenne went upstairs to check. And then she later came back down and was like, yeah, let's all move upstairs. So there were about like maybe 10, 11, or 12 of us in room 209. We all took the elevator, went upstairs to room 310. That's where everyone else is. So the professor showed up. He's a bald, white guy, middle-aged, facial hair, and Cece, the woman whom I've met on Imperfect Dust, one of the producers of Imperfect Dust, or I think she's the producer, right? I forgot. But she's there, and I waved hi, but she didn't really speak to me. But it's great seeing her again. And I also forgot to mention this, but all the way back 2 semesters ago, at the very end, there's this APCA Hand in Hand Film Festival, and I met this guy called Andrew. He's also in this class, but he does not remember me at all. But of course I remember him because I always remember people. So I already know like several people in this class. I know Ryan. I know the TA. And then Colin's friend Ben, who was in the discussion class for 191, he's also there, and I said hi during break, and he asked me like how's the break, etc. Like how's the winter break, not the break of the class. So I know Ryan, I know Colin's friend Ben. I guess in some ways, to a tiny extent, befriended Cheyenne or acquainted with her. I know Andrew, but he doesn't remember me, and I know the TA. So I know 5 people already, plus Rachel. That's 6 people. Holy shit. But yeah, and all of them have never shown up together in the same room. Hilarious enough. But anyways, yeah, I sat down, and Ryan sat at the very back, so I sat at the very back too, but I wish I'd sit more front. So, oh my god, the smoke alarm is still going. Okay, it's fine. We're fine. We're good. So, is there a real fire going on? I hope not. Okay, so the class started, and holy cow, this is child's play for me. Because the thing is, I've taken film production classes in community college, and I've made 8 short films. I'm not trying to brag, but like, we're really starting from beginning. He's like, okay, so this is what movies are. Wide shots, medium shots, close-ups, rule of thirds, the 180-degree rule, and I'm like, oh my god. I've seen too much of all of that shit. They're all bullshit. And then he showed some movies, and he's like, film should be about, your expression. Film should be creative. Different directors do different things. Like, some directors like long takes. Some directors like shorter takes, but use the editing to drive the film. And I'm like, this is film 101. Like, I'm way past that. Again, not to brag, but yes to brag, actually. Like, I've made 8 short films, and I feel like I know the cinematic language quite a bit, okay? I know it quite a bit, to the extent that my latest short film, every shot feels meaningful, linguistically. Surprisingly, he showed a clip from Chungking Express. Little did he know, I'm from Hong Kong too, and I've seen that film twice. He showed the opening of City of God, and of course I've seen that too as well. Throughout the whole class, he makes references to Ozu, and I'm like, yep, I know who that is. He's like, oh, has anyone of you heard of the book In the Blink of an Eye by Walter Murch? And I'm like, yep. Oh, do any of you know what is deep focus? And I'm like, yep. Do any of you know what's a dirty shot? And I'm like, yep. I just know basically everything he said. But yeah, he called out everyone's name, and he didn't say my name. He's like, oh, I'm not even going to attempt that. And I'm like, oh, it's Enoch. So, yeah, but I was attentive. I sat up straight. I spoke up a couple times. And yeah, in his head, in the professor's head, we're all noobs. And in the beginning, he was like, I'm sure some of you have never touched a camera before, but I'm also sure some of you may have been shooting and editing since you were 9. Which, you know what, is true. When I was 9 years old, I edited and shot home movies already. It's actually true. So, I'm banging, man. I'm banging. I'm good. I'm in good hands. Also Cheyenne, she's gonna go crazy on that thing. I know she will. Like she's surprisingly okay. So break time, and I saw Cheyenne just standing in the middle using her own phone, and I'm like, perfect time for me to approach her. So I was like, you're Cheyenne, right? And of course it's like kind of awkward at first. It reminds me of the first time I approached Colin. I was like, you're Colin, right? And then I told Cheyenne where I know her from Cam's Fest to Matt's short film. I mentioned the 310 screening, and I told her, oh, I also like my film also got on it, and he's like, oh, okay. Like she barely remembers it, which is true, but I remember it because I have like strong memory, I guess. But we talked, and she's like really nice and soft and she's like, haha, yeah. Like, I heard that class is bad. I was talking at CTCS 200. And so, yeah. But, like, I haven't even seen, like, aside from that one short film from Campus Fest, I haven't even seen her other work, but I can tell. I can detect, as a detective, I can detect that she's fucking insane. I can detect that she's into extremist, super violent, gory, like hypersexual shit. Or maybe I'm just projecting, but I feel like anyone who's in that, like Colin, Anya, Maisie, and not really Matt, but Matt's like an artsy guy too. But I feel like this group of people are like, yeah, we like making fucked up shit because that's who we are. And I'm like, yeah, she's gonna go crazy. I asked her if she's prepared for the 3 shorts, and she's like, yeah, I wrote something down just to get ahead. And I'm like, yeah, me too, but I've never really written anything down, but I have some ideas. So, oh, she's gonna destroy it. Thank God we're not in the same group, because um, the group is not big enough for the both of us. So I went into this class with extreme confidence, as you can probably tell. I didn't put on an accent or do a persona or anything, but I think I'm cranking up my ego a little more, and that's heavily inspired by Ariel, because Ariel last night was like, be egotistic, be a narcissist, be ambitious, because the industry likes egotistical people. So in this class, I'm going to be like this whole way through. Of course, I'm going to be nice and positive, but I'm going to be active and aggressive as fuck. I'm going to be super ultra aggressive because that's my new strat. I'm listening to what Ariel is saying to me. So yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. I have some idea. When I was walking to school today, I was listening to music. And I was just thinking about changing personalities, putting on different accents. And I found out what I want to do for my second short out of the 3 shorts. I think I do. But the thing is, I don't know any actors yet. I don't know any DPs and sound people. So I may need to ask like Jayun or Mitchell or whoever knows a lot of other people, like Jayun and Mitchell, who knows the rest of the Asian filmmaking community. Maybe I should ask them for help. But yeah, I am ultra prepared. I am ultra freaking prepared. But the thing is, I haven't even used Avid before. Ryan next to me, he has. So he's actually ahead of me in terms of that. So he's like, oh, I'm nervous. But you know, everyone's got a little artsiness in them. Cheyenne told me, like, there's a stereotype that 290 students make shitty films. Especially camps people make very shitty films. And I'm like, really? There's a stereotype? But like at the same time, I went to Camps Fest and Camps people are artsy. Or maybe we're just like cream of the crop. But like we're artsy people. We are able to make films and we're able to break the mold. Like 310 people, 480 people, they just make award baits. They just make movies that the Oscars will like because it's meaningful and it's about life, blah 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 blah. But we are supposed to be the edgy ones. So I'm going to go all out on this shit. Right now, I think I'm very good at making slow cinema. So I'm trying different genres is really tough, but I really need to try. I really need to try. So yeah, we'll see. But I'm freaking good. I'm golden. Like, I'm good. I've made 8 short films. I'm good. So yeah, and then Ryan also told me about 192 and how, yeah, you can just skip it because it's boring as shit. I don't even have the syllabus for 192 yet, but the film list, it's like Crazy Rich Asians. Are you fucking kidding me? The film you want to talk about when it comes to Asian representation is Crazy Rich Asians. You can't pick something like Parasite, you can't pick something like Burning, you can't pick something like Minari. Great. You can't pick something like Everything Everywhere. Bro, that's such an easy watch. So I'm skipping that fucking class. But the TA, as it turns out, is Marissa, who I think is the same TA as my CTCS 200 class. So at least I'll have fun in discussion. And my essays, all A's. So after my RIT 340 today, I think I'm getting an A. 290, it's going to be tricky, but I'm going to go insanely hard and I'll get an A. I'm going to make shorts so fucking good that I'll exceed the 310s. But I'll also work on the 310s, so they will know me and then they'll find out about me. That's the plan. That's the goal of 2025. To be a menace to society. I'm taking Ariel's word to heart because she is a menace to society. She worked it out. She figured it out. I have to figure it out now. And then what else? Yeah, 192. I think I'm gonna get an A. And finally, the other class is religion, which I'm doing tomorrow, which I'm super duper excited about actually. I read the syllabus, and it's only like 2 weeks of Buddhism and like 2 weeks of Taoism, but I hope they sort of come back. But in general, all of the things in the syllabus are things I'm interested in. So I'm gonna ace it. I don't know. It's either a class full of white people who is only interested because of like Asian fetish or whatever, or it's a bunch of Chinese people who have no idea about what religions are because of the CCP, and now they finally learn about it. So I'm excited about that. But whatever the case may be, I need to sleep early tonight because tomorrow class is going to be 12:30 to 2 p.m. If it's 12:30, I'm waking up at 10. If I go to bed at 6 to 10, 4 hours, kill. My goal is 4:30. Don't know how feasible that is. If I can do 5 to 10, 5 hours, not too bad. Not complaining. Yeah. Also, I want to go to school a little early tomorrow to pick up masks. So I may do that. Pick up just a couple N95 masks. But yeah. I'm also thinking of donating clothes for real. There's some pretty good information on where to donate clothes. So I think I might donate some clothes. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, 290 is promising for sure. I just wish more people are in it. If this is a tried and true film production class, I wish I already know half the people in it and we're all kind of already know each other, and then like drama or whatever happens and then we see the real personalities of everyone. It's just that's what film production is about. Yeah. But the downside is like we're going to be ultra fucking busy. Like every weekend I have to dedicate some time to 290 as if I'm not planning to join other shorts and 310s and 480s as well. So yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I'm soaking it. But I'm surprised Cheyenne only knows one person from the class. I thought she would be... Also, she's a junior, so she's probably just as young as me, if not younger, which is fucking horrifying. I looked at her, and she actually feels younger now. it's like scary. Like young people being this talented. It's like, oh god, god damn. But then there are also a lot of people who are not so talented. But when I see a young person who's talented, I'm like, oh my god, you're a threat. So yeah, I'm gonna like power through this semester, hopefully. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's all. So tomorrow it's a religion class, and I'll come back home, have the Trader Joe's wrap, and then go to Cliff's place. And we'll figure out the editing completely. Yeah, I was thinking what to eat for lunch today and tomorrow. Since the original plan was today I'm gonna have lunch and then I'll go to school for RIT 340. And if I have to eat lunch at such a fast pace, then the wrap it is. Because Trader Joe's wrap, tiny, you eat it, quick lunch. But I have more time today, and I realize tomorrow I'm on an even bigger time crunch. So the wrap is tomorrow. Today is also a wrap, but it's with my tortilla, avocado. Also, the avocado is rotten, and it has like brown streaks in it, which is disgusting, but it's edible. And then for dinner, I'm actually struggling a little. I'm either going for rice and curry chicken and broccoli, or I'm going for salmon and salad kit. And I think I'm going for salmon and salad kit because I'm scared the salmon will rot. But the thing is, I kind of want to eat that tomorrow instead. But then also tomorrow I'll probably stay at Louis' place for a long time, and then I wouldn't have a lot of time at night to cook anyways. So I don't know, decisions, but yeah. And I think that's it. Looking good. A good day one, promising, hopefully not as boring as last semester. Hopefully last semester is the most boring semester, and it's only uphill from here. Yeah. Okay, time now is 10:22 a.m. in the morning on January 14th. Oh my god. I slept from 5:20 to 10:20. Yeah. Yeah, but I didn't fall asleep immediately, so let's say 5:30 to 10:20. God damn, I feel terrible. It's been a while since I've slept this little, And it's also really cold. Also, I think I woke up like 3-4 times in the middle of the night. Yeah, at least I'm sleeping earlier than 6 a.m. It's an improvement, but I need to improve harder. Oh my god. Yeah. I did finish. I did spend quite a bit of time editing, and I finally freaking finished that stupid movie, Emilia Perez, last night. So that's good. But yeah. So today it's day 2 of school. From 12:30 to 2 p.m. we have religion class, and then I'll go home immediately, have lunch, and then I'll leave, and then I will go to Luis's apartment. Right now I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't even go home directly. Like, I should just have the lunch outside and then immediately go, because Yeah, because like the classroom is close to the metro. I might as well go to the metro. Cause I don't know. Um I have to spend a lot of time walking to the metro station because there's no free lift before 6 p.m. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll go earlier. But yeah, I also want to arrive on campus earlier because I want to take an N95 mask. And right now I'm also thinking maybe I should just go to the transportation office straight up and just ask them for my card because I'm not receiving an email about my card being ready. So, yeah. Excited for religion class. It's gonna be a fun class. It's gonna be fun. I hope it's gonna be fun. I hope I meet some people there too. Yeah. I want to go back to sleep. Oh man. My temptations are telling me to go back to sleep right now, but I don't know if I should. I don't know if I should, man. I really don't.
Hmm. What about this? Fusion. Fusion tab. I wanna learn Fusion. Like the basics. It's actually pretty.
But like in Adobe Premiere Pro, I just like crop the shot, and then halfway through it's done. But
yeah,
like,
you could do that too. But I like to use Fusion.
oh, but like Fusion like makes it seem like it's one shot actually, right?
I mean, it's laggy, but that's a shot, huh?
Yeah. CGI in real time. Oh my god. Filmmaking.
I mean, this is the having to edit by myself, no?
I know, bro. That's what I think every time I watch.
How was it? Did you just get a slice?
Yeah. I'm waiting for my project to export.
Okay.
And it's gonna be like a few hours, so.
Yeah.
Lol. Okay, so, time now is, 10:47 p.m. I literally just came back home. I'm in my street clothes. And, holy testicles, because I am outside of my home for nearly 12 hours today. Such a long day. But interesting day indeed. Just as interesting as yesterday. So, today I woke up and I cordially went to school. I caught the bus right on time and I arrived at school quite early because while my religion class starts at 12:30 afternoon, I arrived an hour early at around 11:30 because A, I wanted N95 masks. B, I want to go to the transportation office to ask if I have the transportation card already. And then I will go to class. So regardless, I will be early. I will be punctual. So yeah, it was interesting. So I arrived and then I went to Taper Hall and it's like I thought there would be a long line of people lining up for N95 masks, but no, there's a long white foldable table and two women manning the table. One of them is this Asian woman who was taking a selfie right before I stepped in front of her, and no one's lining up and everyone's going about their day. They had about 15 N95 masks lined up on the table, and he's just like, yeah, go ahead and take. So I took one, and then I left, and then I walked back in. I'm like, oh, can I also take another? Can I take more than one? Because my friend needed it, and she's like, sure. So I took two, and that's it. But in reality, I didn't actually need to take two, because I don't know anyone personally who needs an N95 mask. I did bring one to Cliff's place, and I left one there, just because maybe they need it, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah, so that's that. And then, whew, my hair. And then I went to the transportation office. I have to leave the campus in order to get to the office. There's a line lining up outside as expected, and somebody came out and collected our student IDs. And I told the man, I was like, hey, I haven't had the email saying that my card is ready, but I got a different email telling me that thank you for purchasing the card. So he's like, oh, don't worry, I'll check for you. So I waited a while, a long ass time. Finally, someone walked out saying, did you get the email? Like, he's giving people cards. He's giving out the transportation cards. And then he looked at me and he's like, did you get an email? And I'm like, no. And he's like, yeah, come back when you get the email. I'm like, okay. But it's no big deal because both yesterday and today, the bus fares are free. I don't know, maybe it's because of, like, in accordance to the fire. But the bus fees are, the buses are free, which is great. Free public transportation. So I was able to hop onto the bus and get to school quite easily without using my tap card. So that's great. That's fantastic. But please, I want to have the freaking card within this week. Now, I still had about maybe an hour and 10 minutes before... No. I still had about 40 minutes before class starts. So it's about 11:50. And I thought, you know what? I have some free time. I'm going to go to SCA 3rd floor and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to draw. So I did it. So it's a mini drawing session. Took out my notebook, flipped open a page. I grabbed my pencil, which is still blunt because I haven't sharpened it since I've returned from Seattle. But I drew, and oh my god, they look good. My drawings are fantastic. Like, they're not the best, obviously. They are extremely far from the best. But I think right now I've come to a point where I'm confident enough to draw a face. It's not a very beautiful face, but I have come to a point where I could just draw a face. Even without a Loomis head guide, I know vaguely the shape of a face. Today I wish I had ran into someone I know at SCA. I like the thrill of that, but unfortunately that didn't happen. Oh, I think I ran into Anya's twin sister, but she doesn't recognize me. But I could tell it's her from behind her. So that's hilarious. I was gonna like turn around and say, I was gonna walk in front of her and then turn around, but that would be very weird. So I kept looking front. But eventually, while I was far away, I turned around and had a glance. And then I went to religion class. I'm back at a Manson Center, room 238, which is exactly the same room I took the Jesus class in. And wow! WOW, wow. This is intriguing. 3 for 3, man. 3 for fucking 3. 3 classes that excited me. When I took CTCS 200, I'm like, it's okay. 191 immediately bored me. And, art directing the first class, I fell asleep. But this time, this semester, so far so good. So far so freaking good, man. So, 3 for 3. So I entered it, and there's a lot of people. Granted, I know a bunch of people will drop out, because they always do. But there were a lot of people. There were like 20 maybe. Like 15, 16, maybe 20. A lot of Asians, but also a good mix. There are a couple white people, there are a couple black people, but mostly Chinese. So I sat at the second row to the most front, and then I started the class, and it was short and sweet. It was about 1 hour and 40 minutes long, the class. Actually, even less. 1 hour and... No. It's like... The class is supposed to go from 12:30 to 1:50. And then we ended up leaving early at 1:45. The professor showed up, and she's a short-haired Chinese woman. And she's really nice. She speaks quiet, but she's really nice. She's fun, actually. So she actually encourages interactions between students. Like, she actually asks people to, okay, I give you this question, you guys should discuss. So the first is like, what is Chinese and what is religion? So this guy sitting in front of me, he's like a Chinese American guy, an ABC, who is muscular, sporty, very confident, but very confused. We had a discussion, and we keep having the discussion because the professor keeps going, okay, with the same partner, now discuss I am, blah, 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 I am. And then he's like, okay, now in 3 minutes, discuss what you like and what you don't like. The person with the longer hair will speak first, and the person with the shorter hair will speak second. And so I kept talking to him, and there's not much to say, but apparently he's from Seattle, and he plays sports, and he's a computer science major, and he's taking this class for GE. I'm taking this class because I'm a religion minor right now. I freaking enjoy this. I'm enjoying this. And then, And then the class continued, and then at some point the professor was like, okay, now pick a different partner. But this time, let's do an exercise. So she's trying to have us demonstrate yin and yang, the concept of yin and yang. So 2 people, one person does the action, the other follow. Now switch. The other person do actions like scratch head, raise hand, and I follow. And then finally, we mirror each other at the same time. And it's a very interesting exercise, and everyone went with stretching because it's the it's the movements that makes the most sense and it's the least awkward. And I think I did fine. I thought I would be very awkward because I hate shit like this, but I think everyone's awkward, so I feel less awkward about this. The sporty guy I talked to, his name is David. He was paired with another girl, and they just stood there and did nothing because if one person does nothing, the other does nothing too. So they just stood there and did nothing. They just agreed to do nothing. But yeah, and then we did the mirroring exercise, and I was speaking to this other guy, the Chinese guy with glasses, and then he was so passive. He's just waiting for me to move, but I'm waiting for him. So I kept moving, and I stop and I wait for him, but he's not moving, and then I kept moving. And then the professor was like, did you feel it? Did you feel the yin and the yang, sort of like two opposing forces complementing each other? Honestly, I didn't feel it, because the whole time he's just waiting for me to do the next move. So, yeah. But it was interesting nonetheless, and then we went over the syllabus. The professor talked about Chinese dynasties, but given how half the class are already Chinese, like, we already know what's up. We already know the basics. So, thank God I'm a little ahead. I'm super ahead in 290. I'm a little ahead in this class. So, that's cool. So, we finished class, I walked away, and then I went to... So, I had an idea this morning, and that is, why even bother coming back home after class? Like, after class, I could just freaking go directly to Cliff's place. Because the thing is, a Manson Center is at the south of the campus, literally right beside the metro station. I take the metro to Santa Monica, and then I go to Cliff's place. L'appartement de Cliff. Why bother taking a bus, go back home, and then go out again, take a bus, or walk to the metro? Like, that's too much work. That's too much time. Instead, I'm gonna bring my Trader Joe's wrap with me, put it in my backpack. I'll bring a water bottle with me. I'll bring my hard drive with me. And then I'll just freaking go. I'll just go. Because, like, I don't need much. So I just directly left. I went to the tutoring center canteen and had my Trader Joe's wrap. It was a mess, but it's okay. I washed my hands at the admission center. I know the places already. And again, I was low-key hoping that I would run into people. There's something so isolating about USC. It's like I know all these people like Matt and Colin, and then I don't run into them. They sort of just disappear because the school is so big. So, yeah, I hope I do run into people. I like, in secondary school, I do have this feeling that we're all familiar with each other because I keep seeing the same group of people again and again. So wherever I go, someone I know will show up. In CMD, it sort of feels like that, but in USC, it's too much. I still can't let go. So, yeah, I hope I get to the stage where I'm comfortable everywhere I go, because there's always people I know everywhere. Hopefully I get there. But I'm already definitely there in l'appartement du Cliff. So, I took the metro, and I went all the way to Santa Monica, and I arrived at l'appartement du Cliff, this time without a map. And, I arrived at 3:10 or 3:15 p.m. Luis told me to come at 4 p.m. ish, and I'm like, sure. And then I told him I'm gonna come earlier because my class finished early, and he's not responding. So I genuinely thought that he's asleep, and I wouldn't be able to go into the apartment. I'll just stand outside for a whole hour. But miraculously, I stood there for a couple minutes, and then in the distance, I saw Lauren and Austin, and they had cameras with them, and they just walked back, and Lauren was like, hello, Enoch. And I'm like, hey, I'm here to color a film with Louise. They're just doing photography stuff. So Austin let me in, and I was inside, and Austin knocked on Louis' door, and Louis woke up. He just woke up because apparently in the morning, like maybe 4 a.m., 5 a.m., he took acid with Justin, the Singaporean guy, and Andrew, the half Mexican, half Taiwanese guy. And they watched Evangelion together while on acid. And now he's like hungover, kind of. So, terrible condition to color my film. Jesus Christ. He looked terrible. But I think the more we colored the film together, the more he woke up. The more awake he is, the more sober he gets. So I think at the end of the day, he becomes kind of energized. Cliff turns out to be there as well, and Cliff also just woke up, and it's like 3:30 p.m. So, yeah, without further ado, I and Louis started editing. I exported XML. He tried to import my XML file to his timeline, and it kept on crashing. It kept crashing and crashing and crashing. And at some point, we're like, maybe we have to ask Cliff for help. And every time Cliff shows up to help us today, he's like a genie. He's like an expert. He is an expert. But, yeah. We continue coloring, and at first it's a little frustrating. It's like Luis doesn't even want to do it. Also, his girlfriend Cass is sick, and apparently they have to go to the trip tomorrow morning, Big Bear Lake. And he's also packing, so he's also like in a bit of a scuffle, and a bit of a cucumber, and a bit of a pickle, perhaps. And, yeah, so we continue coloring. It's finally resolved. Apparently, it's like if the computer tries to match all the timeline footage with the videos in my drive, it freaks out. So instead, we did it manually. Yeah. So we linked the videos to the timeline manually, and then we continue coloring. And it's like simple, really. My short film is really easy to color because I'm going for realism. Just a little exposure changes, some color changes, and we're good. So that's what we did. And it was a very fast coloring process. And then more and more people start showing up. Justin, the Malaysian guy, showed up for a split second and said hi to me. And then he's gone. He's here to pick up a hard drive. This has literally become a post house. But at the same time, there were like pancakes and apple boxes and lights and C-stands outside. So it's kind of like a storage room, like an equipment room. And then you can, like, multiple short films and music videos have been shot at this apartment as well. So at the same time, it's a shooting location. So this is like a film hub in Santa Monica. It's crazy. So, yeah, we edited, and we colored and colored. There were a few hiccups. There was one shot that's very difficult where it's two shots stacked on top of each other, and I had to knock on Cliff's door for help. There's another moment where we had to figure out the aspect ratio. Like, it was okay at first, and then I was like, let's double check. And then Luis was like, oh, we can actually do 1.85 aspect ratio in the settings. And then we did that, and then it turns out it's 16:9, but with two black bars on top of bottom, which is, I fucking hate that. Please don't do that. And then we tried to revert it back, and then we can't, because we reverted it back to 1.85, but now it is 1.85 frame, but the footage becomes 16:9. So there are two black bars at the left and right side. So Cliff was like, oh, just press fill. So fill, and then boom, perfect. And then, yeah. And then we're exporting it, and it took 3 hours, and which is weird. And at that point, it was like 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 7 p.m. And Luis was like, oh, I'm hungry. I'm going to go grab a bite. And Cass also came. She said hi, and then she took a shower, and she's hiding in Luis's bedroom. Such a cute couple. Like, good for you two. It's out of character for me to say this, but they are a cute couple. They are indeed an interesting and cute couple. It makes sense that they're together too. It kind of makes sense. But yeah. So Luis is like, let's grab a bite, and I'm like, sure. So I and Luis, we left, and we literally just walked maybe about 8 minutes ish walk towards Starbucks, Sunside Japanese Grill, hella nostalgia. And we went to this restaurant right beside Starbucks called Vito's Pizza. And we ordered a pizza, and I was hungry as fuck, so I ordered $5.50 pepperoni slice, just one slice, but huge. And it's feeding me, so now I don't actually feel that hungry, but I should make dinner soon. And then, yeah, and then I, and then I. And then I returned, and then Luis and Cass, they're in the room, and we're still waiting. Austin came back, and Austin and Luis went for a walk, and Austin was like, oh, you can play the, do you want to turn on the TV? And I'm like, I don't mind. And then he gave me the remote control, so he's like telling me if I want to turn on the TV, I can, so I did. And I looked at HBO Max, and they got some good films. They got a Razorhead, which is interesting, because I'm planning to see a Razorhead tonight. So might as well see it on the screen. And then Luis came back, and I and Cliff, we were talking, and I was showing Cliff Monogatari series, and like Api Chapang Wiraseta Cool, and I was showing Cliff like David Lynch. I showed Cliff my short film. Also, Luis was complimenting me so much today. Like, he's like, wow, I'm really seeing your vision, like, for real. Like, if only you have an expensive camera and like more crew, you would make something great. Like, I can't wait to see you work with big equipment. And then like Luis was asking me like, how would you call your own genre? Like, how would you call your own style? Like magical realism. And Luis was like I was telling Luis a lot of like how I filmed this shot. Oh, that shot was improvised. And Luis is like, oh wow, you're kind of like capture the moment director, you know, you don't need expensive gear, you always capture the right moment. And then I told Luis about the biblical references, and he's like, wow, the attention to detail. So when talking to Luis, I find out that my short film is really good, and I'm really confident about it. Even if all the film festivals reject my short film, I will still be really happy about it because they don't get it. It's just good. It's just really fucking good. So, genuinely, I'm happy with this short film. I'm genuinely, for the first time, very happy with the short film I've made. But of course it's not done, so I'll know when it's done. And then, yeah, and then I told Luis, how about, what if, because it keeps getting longer and longer. It says it takes 3 hours to export, and then it's 3 hours and 15 minutes. And Luis was like, that's weird. I exported a video for Cliff, and it took like 50 minutes, and his video was way longer. And I was like, what if you unplug my hard drive and unplug it back, and then do that again? Or maybe export the video to your computer first. So that's what he did, and I only had to wait 50 more minutes. So I waited and waited, and it's all okay, it's alright. And then that's it. And then the video finished. I have it now, it's colored. There's still a little bit I need to edit, but it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'm gonna finish that up tonight. So after that, it's picture fucking lock. Oh, actually no, because subtitles are not there yet. Subtitles and end credits are not there yet, but the coloring is done. So there are 4 elements to the post: ADR, music, sound, color. Color is done. 3 more to go. So I need it done, man. I really need it fucking done. I'm gonna DM Wen later, and I'm gonna DM Naja later and ask about their progress. But yeah, yeah. I feel good. Damn. damn, I'm not happy, but I feel confident. I think it's like vengeful confidence. It's like I'm confident not because something great happened to me, but because I have the energy to fucking go insane. Like 290 last night, meeting Cheyenne, and like also I DM Christian, and Christian finally responded, and Christian's down to help out. He gave me his phone number. I emailed the producer Gabrielle, and he's like, yeah, sure, bring someone on. So I just casually brought him on, casually brought Christian on, and if Katie is there, it would be hilarious. But if Jayun is there, it would be hilarious of the highest degree. But I highly doubt Jayun would show up because she's a busy woman. She's a busy girl. What can I say? She's a busy girl. But yeah, I have 3 short films in the works. Smooth Operator, Jigsaw Falling into Place, Remain in Light, and I am going to destroy this film class. I'm going to be a menace to society. Okay, I'm going to be a fucking menace to society. I'm going to embrace... Okay. It's my old phone. I'm going to embrace insanity, and it's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. And I'm taking Ariel's advice to heart. You know, what Ariel said, be egotistic, be ambitious, be crazy, be insane. Luis just DM'd me. What Ariel said, you know, treat yourself like you're your own son, like you're your own daughter. Like, you know, I'm gonna do that. 2025 will be my year. 2020, I can feel it, man. I can fucking feel it. I know I said the same thing in 2024. I think I did. Which is so ironic because 2024 is like warm up. But come on, man, 2025. I'm gonna try to get close to Jayun. Obviously, I can't guarantee it. And Jayun, I'm not really in love or anything. But I don't know. Maybe a couple more conversations will change my mind. But at least I'll try because I'm an unstoppable force. Also, my mom called. Like I called my mom because my mom was talking to me, and I called my mom at Cliff's place, and I was speaking Cantonese out loud. So yeah. Okay, dinner time. Holy shit! That is silverfish, bitch. Fucking hell! Ja! Ah! It's split in half.